They're live. Good morning, Pirate fans, Pirate Nation. This is fellow Seton Hall grad Bobby Blackjack from the Basketball Zone Network on our weekly spot, the Coach BOZZ Show. Coach BOZZ, how are you doing today?
Bobby, I'm doing good. Excited to be on here live on Instagram with your great show. And
Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Amazon Fire TV on the Basketball Zone Network. Building this show up. Got a lot of great response last week from our first episode, so we're only going to go up from here. We were actually live this morning. We weren't live last week, but we are today. We'll see how this goes. So of course we have a big game tonight against the Rutgers women's program. Before we get into that, we have our special guest, Savannah Catalan. Savannah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. So you're a freshman from Texas, right? That's correct?
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned last week, Coach, about how you're getting players from all over the country, and I think Miss Catalan is a prime example of that.
Absolutely. And she's one of the best guards we've recruited in a long, long time. And the state of Texas really produces a lot of great basketball players, and she's clearly one of the top ones. So we're fortunate to have her here as a Pirate.
That's fantastic. I don't know why this comes public. All right. So we'll see what happens. We're going to build a show up. Like I said, now we're live for the first time. We'll get it out there. I know Matt's working behind the scenes as well. Matt, great job running your communications for you. Before we get into the Rutgers game tonight, Coach, let's go over your weekend. You had a tough road loss at Columbia. As we've learned to, as I've learned to see, Columbia is one of the best programs in the area, correct?
Yeah, they do a great job. They lost by 4 to Duke last night. It was a game that we led a good amount of the game. We actually had control at the end of the third quarter, and it was just a tough play, tough call. Really, it was a 4, 5, 6 point swing, and we've got to learn to early in the game we weren't really understanding how they were playing, so they scored some easy baskets. And we just have to adjust a little quicker, certainly on my end and the coaching staff's end. And I know the players will figure that part out too as we get going. But we came back and won a game on Sunday where we played outstanding against Bryant. Our offense wasn't clicking early on, but our defense was. A lot of it thanks to this young lady on my right. And then we got our offense going. She hit a big 3 in the third quarter, and all of a sudden, our defense stayed great, and then our offense caught up to it. So, it was a good weekend. We got a big game tonight, obviously, against our in-state rivals. But I really love how the team is really gelling, how it's team first. And, those things will, in the long run, really benefit us greatly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been telling everybody who would listen how fun your team is to watch and root for. Like I said, the ladies are hustling. They're diving out to loose balls. They're challenging every shot. And, of course, this past week against Bryant, we saw the emergence of Micah Gray with her 3-point shot. I mean, she hit about 4 or 5 in a row. The team shot 53%, I believe, from the 3-point line, which is incredible, right?
Yeah, we did well. The young lady on my right finds these kids well, along with Amari, and she's a great shooter herself. You give her 5 shots, she's going to probably make 4 or 5 of them too.
And of course, as we discussed last week, your team is very deep, and it shows. And I think that's going to be important as the season grinds on. That when you start playing your Big East schedule, you're going to need the depth to really challenge these teams and be positioned where you want to be for the in March.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have obviously a great team in Rutgers tonight. Then we play USC on Monday and East Carolina on Wednesday, both NCAA tournament teams. And then we come back and play another NCAA tournament team in Princeton. So the challenges are ahead of us. But we like that, and we want to challenge ourselves, get better, put ourselves in a position to, at the end of the year, have some success and play in the postseason.
That's fantastic. One thing about what was you had mentioned when you had played Iona? They were a real good team last year and this year as well. Where does Bryant stack in that the women's game in this area?
Brian has a brand new head coach in Lynn Koskowski. Took over from Mary Burke, who had done a great job for many years. Brian had made the conference finals, I think, 2 years ago. It was a rebuilding situation for her at Bryant. She's an alum like I am here at Seton Hall. So I know Lynn will do a great job. They had won their first game by about 20 points and had a first-team all-conference player. And I thought we did a good job. They had a really good guard. Savannah had to guard her and really shut her down. And then the team just kept grinding, and then our shots started to fall, as we talked about with Micah and the rest of the team in the second half.
So Savannah, take us to your thought process of leaving the big state of Texas, and I'll be in Texas in January. I'll be in Dallas to come all the way to the East Coast to join Coach's program.
Well, coming from Texas, it was a big change, but being here, I would say it was like an easy adjustment, like because of the people who are part of the program. I mean, they make it comfortable to be up here. So as much as I, wanted to stay home with family, I'm building a family here.
That's fantastic. So what have you enjoyed or not enjoyed about the tri-state area being so close to New York City?
It's cold. It's cold here.
You've seen nothing. You haven't seen anything yet, and I'm anti-winter myself. Thankfully, they say this is an El Nino winter, and it's supposed to be a mild winter for us. Hopefully, that comes to fruition, and it won't be as cold for you. How about you? Have you been to New York City yet?
Yeah, I went quite a few times in the summer because recruits were up here, so we take them to the city.
Excellent. So hopefully you'll be the pipeline for more Texas ladies to come out east and play for the Pirates.
Yep, hopefully.
So tell us about your high school career. And who's your favorite player growing up? Who do you kind of model your game after? Anybody in particular?
Nobody really in particular, but like as far as my game, I don't want to be strictly like an offensive or defensive player. I look to contribute all around. So through high school, I mean, I had a big role, especially as a freshman. I was the captain of the team, so I had to.
As a freshman?
Yes, so I had to fill a big gap.
Did you go to one of those big schools in Texas?
Yeah, like in my city, there was 5 high schools.
What city was that?
Mansfield.
Okay, because I was in Dallas in January, and we played this football game at I think it was Doty, Texas, and the football stadium was like 8,000 seat stadium, which is like you don't see that in New Jersey at all, even for the big schools. So I was very impressed by, they say everything's bigger in Texas, and my first time there, I was in awe how big things actually were.
Yeah, they're not lying.
We know football is big in Texas. How's girls basketball in Texas?
Girls basketball actually, like it's a pretty big thing now. Like you're more likely to hear about it around Texas, so that's a good thing.
So before deciding on coming out east to the Pirates, what have you heard about the program as you went through your final years of high school and you had teams recruiting you, coaches recruiting you? What did you hear about the program that Coach BOZZ runs?
Well, when I came on my visit, he was like, when I went to schools, I would ask what's the culture or whatever, and what really like opened my eyes to Seton Hall was he was like, well, the players are the ones that established the culture. Like I can't give you an answer for that because the players are what create it. So that stuck with me, and that was one of the main reasons why I chose Seton Hall, because that was just like a good answer to me. And he was right. Like the players here do establish the culture.
So what is your best position to play? You seem to be like more of a tweener. You like playing more of a guard, handling the ball, or are you more of a forward? You want to get in there and get rebounds?
Well, I don't mind rebounding, but I'm like when I'm like more of a 2.
But more finesse, right?
Yeah, like I love playing on the side of Mari. I look up to her, and if one day I can be better than Amari, like that would be like amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you got Amari on the show one of these weeks, Coach. But it's just amazing to watch Amari play, Coach, and knowing she sat behind Lauren Park Lane for all these last couple of years, and just to come out, take command of this team. And like you mentioned, like I said, I keep repeating this, but her passing is immaculate and fun. And, it almost seems like she always finds the open lady out in the court who's available to shoot.
Yeah, Amari's vision, is fantastic. And, it just shows a lot about the type of person Savannah is and really the culture we have because of people like Savannah. Savannah wants to learn from Amari, wants to play with Amari, looks up to Amari, and that's the type of person Amari is. Amari, people want to look up to her because she could have quit here. She was not the starting point guard for a few years, and she's every bit as talented as any point guard, honestly, in the Big East or in the country. And Savannah's going to be the same thing. It's the people like Savannah and Amari that really are making our programs as strong as ever. I'm not looking at the record per se, right now, or even at the end of the year. I'm looking at what great kids we have and how we've established such a good culture. And I really believe that this year and next year, and then the year after are going to be three of the best years in Seton Hall history. I really believe that because of Savannah, but even just the way she speaks and talks about the team, she's great, and she's made it really easy for me to coach. I'll tell you that. She's just great. And you ask her what position, she can play any position. If I ask her to guard the 5, she'd guard the 5. If I ask her to run the 5 spot on offense, she'd run it. She knows everything. She's smart. She's a great listener. And we're fortunate to have her.
Excellent. So tonight, big in-state battle against Rutgers. Like I said, I mean, the fact I love covering your program to begin with. No, I'm going to be there tonight. I already told Peter, hey, Pete, I'm going to be at the women's game tonight in Walsh Gym. I know how big the rivalry is between Rutgers and Seton Hall, and almost all sports. I mean, there's always a banter. We don't even play football at Seton Hall, and there's banter with the football program and whatnot. So, Coach, you've been here, I think you said 11 years now?
Yes, my 11th year, Bob.
So your first couple of years, you win against Vivian Stringer, correct?
We did. We played my second year. We played against Coach Stringer in the NCAA tournament, and lost a heartbreaker right at the end of the game. And then we played them in the NIT my first year, actually, and lost a double overtime game, a heartbreaker. And then we beat them our third year here when Shakina was a starting point guard. They came in, I think, nationally ranked. We won by 25 points. Shakina was amazing, as was the team. And then we've played them a few times in between as well. Played at their gym last year. We won, and played here, and obviously this year. So, it's good. I want to establish that we play every year. I've been asking Coach Washington, and they're I guess still looking at it, but we need to play each other. Like the men have the Hardwood Trophy, we need the Bell Trophy, and we need to make this a big annual event. And now with Coach Washington here, hopefully we can do that because we need to promote women's basketball. We have a lot of great programs in the tri-state area. Obviously, Princeton, Columbia, Manhattan. I can go on. Ryder has had good success down the line. NJIT is improving. We have a lot of great programs in our area, and I think it's something that we need to promote, keep going. FDU is going to be good with Coach Gately there. Iona with my former point guard, is a strong. She'll get that program back. So we need to do that. But Seton Hall and Rutgers needs to play. Like we have to play. Like that's what the men do. They're promoting it. It's become an NIL thing. It's become everything. We need to do the same thing on the women, and we need Rutgers to certainly get on board and want to do this. And we're having some conversations. I'll have a few more with Coach Washington as well. But we have to play this game. I don't care where we play it or how we play it, but we have to play this game.
Research in their early start of the season, I believe they won a close game against Monmouth. That's a local game, another local team, Monmouth, down there in Long Branch.
Yeah, Coach Ginny Bogus is doing a really good job with that program as well. Took them to the NCAA tournament last year. They were the A seed in the CAA, and they won it. And Jenny's going to do a really good job down there. And I propose, not to get off track, but I'd love to do a 6-team Jersey-only day of girls basketball, ladies basketball down in Atlantic City or Trenton, or I love Atlantic City and the idea. You play at 11, 1, 3, and 5. For 8 teams, or and you just play all day. People come down the night before. We have a big banquet, a big NIL fundraising event in Atlantic City, and then we play the next day, all of us, and we play Rutgers that day. Maybe Princeton plays Monmouth, and whatever. We can mix it up from year to year. But Seton and Rutgers should play, and we should be televised nationally. And I think as Rutgers gets better, and she's doing a great job with that. It would be a great opportunity to really showcase women's basketball in New Jersey. We need to do that, Bob.
No, that's a fantastic idea. Let's get on it. We'll make it happen. We'll be the catalyst for that.
Sounds good.
So second game, I believe they doubled up, if I'm not mistaken, Wagner.
Yep, and then they lost to Auburn in a game where they led 15-2 and 17-4, and then just went cold from the field. Auburn went on about a 30-4 run. Auburn, much better team, has gotten a lot better. So we need to control Rutgers' runs, really limit their easy baskets in terms of us taking care of the ball. I mean, those are things tonight that are going to show us the difference.
Savannah, let's get back to you for a question or two. So you're down there in Texas, and you look to the east, and the big program, obviously like UConn, a program like that. But then I actually said for both of you, coach as well, during the Big East Media Day, I asked Coach Oriema, what's going to take for the Northeast and the Big East specifically to get that mantra back as far as being the best conference in women's basketball, because it seems it's been the SEC for the past couple of years. And what are your thoughts about that? Now, Savannah, you being from Texas, you're right around a lot of those programs, right? And you still chose the Big East. So what are your thoughts about playing like a UConn and getting on the national TV? Is that something that really excites you?
It does excite me, especially because when I'm watching TV, I'm watching those SEC schools, and every week they're televised on national TV. So going into the UConn game, that's going to be a big game for me. So I'm looking forward to it.
And so, Coach, how does the Big East kind of take some of that?
We had 5 teams make the NCAAs. We made the NIT last year. 6 teams made postseason out of 11. We're growing. We still have the best program in women's basketball history in our league in UConn. UConn, sets the gold standard. There's no question about it. And we're thrilled they're part of the program. So when my old boss Pat Lyon said, high waters raise the boat, and he's right. And they've raised the bar, and but they're not unbeatable. They lost twice in the league last year, the year before they lost in the league. When they were in the AAC, they went, I think, 85 and 84 and 0. So whatever it was, 100 and 0, whatever. Here they've been in the league a couple of years. They've lost 3 times already. And that's
they lost this week, right? They lost this week.
Well, yeah, but I meant in our league.
Yeah.
We beat league teams. They went undefeated in the AAC. And in our league, they've already lost 3 times, and that's not a knock on UConn. That's just saying how good and strong our league is. And and look at us, we're recruiting people from SEC territory in Savannah and Micah. I mean, they're 2 of the best young guards, not on our team, not in the Big East, but in the country. I don't care who recruited them or not. I would take them if I was coaching at any SEC school in the country. They're winners. They're really good players. They're smart, they're young, and they're only going to get better. I mean, their work ethic is amazing. They're here working on their game every single day. So, the SEC is a great league. We're going to get a chance to play a Pac-12 team in USC coming up. And then we obviously get an opportunity at the end to play UNLV, which is a really good team as well. But we have a great brand of basketball here in the Big East, Bobby. It's tough, it's physical, it's winning. And I don't think it'd be great if we can get UConn to win a national championship, maybe get another team like us, Creighton, Villanova, whoever, to get to the Final Four one of these years, Marquette. But I truly believe we can do it. I mean, Creighton went to the Elite Eight a few years ago. The team we beat in the Big East playoffs that year, they went to the Elite Eight. So people are like, oh, you don't have a chance. We have a chance just like everybody else. It's about getting in. It's about the brackets, and we, first and foremost, we got to take care of one day at a time. Just get better. Enjoy the journey, as I told the kids. Recruit great players like this young lady on my right, and great people. But we don't take a backseat to anybody. We really don't in our league or at Seton Hall.
Yeah. Savannah, if I'm not mistaken, Coach, Micah Gray's from Oklahoma. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, you are.
You know each other before coming to Seton Hall?
I what?
Micah Gray, I believe, is from Oklahoma, which is.
Yeah.
You guys know each other before coming to Seton Hall?
Micah said she would see me play AAU, but I had never seen Micah before. But like, she looked familiar when she came up here, so maybe I have.
Like I said, I think it's just phenomenal that you're getting these players coached from all over the country. That's just gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a program foundation piece.
100%. And they're really great people. They're really good players. I mean, it's important. I mean, you see these two on the court, and you would think they're seniors. So,
one quick thing: if you are watching the show live, or if you're gonna watch it or on a rewind, when we do go forward with the show, now we have some viewers coming in now. I see the numbers popping up. So when if you are watching the show live, you can respond on Facebook and YouTube. Ask Coach a question. I'm very encouraged now with these numbers coming in. So if you are watching this on the rewind and we come live next week or the week after, feel free to raise a comment. I'll post it on the air. I can ask Coach a question. That'll be another segment we'll be working on going forward. So I don't want to keep you. I know it's game day. You have preparation to do, Coach, in Savannah. So what should we expect tonight, Coach? What are your thoughts about the game tonight? Going, both teams 2-1. Huge game in the early season schedule. What are your thoughts tonight?
I'll let Savannah answer that.
You're going to see a lot of energy and a lot of fight from us, especially on the defensive end. So
excellent. And I know Matt's working behind the scenes, and he's going to blast us out once we finish the show. Hopefully, we see a lot more blue than red tonight in Walsh Gym, and I'll be there right in my usual seat. It was funny. I was the game on Sunday. I had my guy Will next to me, and I was like teaching him everything about the ladies. I've seen you guys play twice already. That was his first game. I was saying, watch out for this one. This one's a freshman. This one's this. This one's that. So I'm enjoying this ride, and I'll be with you to the end and beyond. And let's go Pirates tonight. Big game against in-state rival Rutgers. We'll see everybody there. And again, if you're watching this on the rewinds, make a comment on either Facebook or YouTube. We'll get back to you next week. During the week, I'll respond. Coach will respond. And if you're going to do on a beautiful Wednesday night tonight, come down to the campus. Root on your Seton Hall Women Pirates. Big game against Rutgers. That'll be it. Thank you again, Savannah, for joining us. Coach, we'll see you later this afternoon, this early evening.
Thanks, Bob.
Be good. See you in a couple hours.
Bye.